There are thoughts you've had that you've never said out loud, not because you couldn't, but because you don't think anyone would really understand them if you did, so you keep them to yourself. You move through your day like everything's normal, you laugh when you're supposed to, you answer "I'm good" without thinking about it, and nobody questions it. Because from the outside, you look fine. But there's a part of your mind that goes somewhere quiet, somewhere heavy, and you don't let anyone see it. It doesn't always show up the same way. Sometimes it's just a thought that passes through. What if I just disappeared? Not in a dramatic way, not in a way we'd ever act on, just a thought. Other times, it's deeper than that. It's waking up already tired, and not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. It's being around people and still feeling alone. It's realizing that the things we used to enjoy don't really hit the same anymore. And we're not even aware of when that changed. You just know it did. And we don't talk about it. Because how do you even explain that? How do you tell someone, "I don't feel like myself anymore," when you're not even sure who that version of you was to begin with? So we stay quiet. Despite what you are probably telling yourself, having those thoughts doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means something in your life, or something you've been carrying, has gone unaddressed for too long. But keeping it buried, that's where it gets dangerous. Because thoughts that stay in silence don't just disappear. They get louder, they get heavier. And over time, they start to feel more real than they actually are. Not because they're true, but because we've been alone with them for too long. I remember a stretch of time when nothing really felt real anymore, after losing my boy and his mom. Something in me just kind of shut off. And it wasn't loud. It wasn't like I was breaking down every day or anything like that. It was quieter. I'd be around people, conversations happening, life moving. And I just felt detached from all of it. Like I was there, but not really there. The things I used to care about didn't hit the same either. Cars, games, things that used to pull me in, it all just felt flat. And I tried to fill that space. Women, drinking, distractions, but nothing ever really touched it. It just passed the time. And I remember thinking, I don't even know what I'm moving toward anymore. No real goals, no real direction, just existing. And there was a moment where I caught myself having a thought I didn't expect. Not that I wanted to end my life, but the idea of not having to wake up, not having to put on a face, not having to pretend I'm okay so nobody asks questions, that felt easier. And that's when it hit me. It wasn't that I wanted to be gone. I was just tired of carrying everything by myself. Most men don't actually want to end their life. We just want the pressure to stop. The constant weight, the expectations, the feeling of having to hold everything together no matter what, we want relief from that. But because we don't talk about it, because we keep everything locked in, the only place it has to go is deeper. And when it sits there long enough, it starts to twist into thoughts that don't even feel like yours anymore. Here's what you need to understand. A thought is not a decision. A thought is not a plan. And a thought is not who you are. It's a signal. It's your mind telling you something isn't right. Something needs attention. But if you ignore the signal, if you keep pretending you're fine, if you keep carrying everything alone, that signal doesn't go away. It just gets stronger. You don't have to tell everyone everything. You don't have to suddenly become someone who opens up to the world. but you do have to stop isolating yourself completely. Whether that's one person, a conversation, or even just admitting to yourself. That's where it starts, because the moment you bring it out of silence, it loses some of its power. You're not the only one who's had those thoughts, even if it feels like it, even if you've never heard anyone say it out loud before. And you don't need to have everything figured out right now, but you do need to stop pretending nothing's wrong when something clearly is. Because you don't actually want to disappear, you just want the weight to stop. And that's a different conversation, one that's definitely worth having.